This YCN segment is brought to you by Bubba's Bar and Grill on Lake Sunapee in Newberry Harbor.
Welcome to the New Hampshire Association of Broadcasters award-winning YCN Game of the Week. This week we're in Rutland, Vermont for a gridiron clash between the host Raiders taking on the Essex Hornets. YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by Sensible Shoe in Rutland, name brands for less. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist. La Valley Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion. Mascoma Savings Bank, with no shareholders to please, they are committed to remaining independent and to reinvesting profits in our community. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire. Ramonto's in Claremont, always fresh, always delicious. And by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team and so much more.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to YCN's Game of the Week. My name is Dave Collins, along with Andrew Zerhide. A beautiful night for football. Chill, fall, crisp weather. We'll get to that in just a moment. But now, Rutland and Essex doing battle here tonight in Rutland. For the Essex Hornets, you should watch out for their quarterback, Cam Quinn, number 2. Also the 2 wide receivers he likes to throw to downfield, 2 juniors, Tyler Millette, and also Grady Corkum, and the running back, Jordan Hines, who can break away.
Yeah, so for the Rutland Raiders, we're going to be keeping an eye on senior quarterback Jared McGlory and senior running back Dakota Peters. Look for these two to really play a huge part in the Raiders offense here tonight.
It's Essex versus Rutland. Battle for Vermont. Coming up next on YCN's Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Alumni Field once again for YCN's Game of the Week. It's the Essex Hornets taking on the Rutland Raiders. My name is Dave Collins, along with Andrew Zerhide, Alex Dodge, Greg Urin here in Rutland tonight. Beautiful weather for football, 60 degrees, cloudy skies, no chance of rain until hopefully after we're done here. Do have a bit of a breeze blowing from the Rutland bench over towards the Essex bench on the far sideline, so that may come into play. Let's tell you a little bit more about these two teams. Essex Hornets 1-5. They got their first win last week, a shutout victory against Colchester 20-0. They started the season 0-5, and Rutland 2-4. They won their opener against Brattleboro 44-14 and won against Rice Memorial 41-21 last week. But it was not pretty in between week 1 and week 6 for Rutland, and this is their final home game. Essex won the toss. They deferred, so Rutland will receive. They are wearing the red jerseys with white pants, white numerals and letters. Essex, in their away gold pants, white shirts, and blue numerals and letters. Kickoff coming down to Rutland at the 17-yard line, stumbling and falling on the ground for the Hornets, unfortunately. Dakota Peters. And so Rutland will start out 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. 12-minute quarters here in Vermont. Two teams, Andrew, that I think coming into the season anticipated a little bit better results. And we mentioned Essex won their first game last week after starting the season 0-5. Rutland won their first game, but lost 4 games in a row. Finally got off the schneid and beat Rice Memorial 41-21. That was last week.
Yeah, only 3 wins combined between these two teams this season. They were hoping for more, but hopefully they can finish the season off strong and build on next year.
So Rutland starts out in a spread offense. Their quarterback for the Raiders is Jared Migliori, a senior. He got the loudest ovation coming out onto the field, and the handoff goes for about 7 yards. So the players you want to watch for Rutland in the red and white jerseys, number 15 is Jared McGlory. He is a senior. Also, the running back standing next to him, Dawson Cole. And also Dakota Peters. Peters gets the handoff, takes it over the 30-yard line, and that's enough for a first down. So the drive continues for the Raiders. 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line. Raiders headed right to left across your TV and computer screen as we are 30 seconds into the first quarter, no score. Jared Migliori in the shotgun. Running back Peters is next to him. Migliori keeps it himself and will plunge up the middle for about 2 yards, where it'll bring up 2nd down and about 7. And that's what the coaches from Rutland told us, is that Migliori, they'll set up in that spread offense, but he really likes to run sort of a quasi-option, Andrew, where he may keep it himself, he may hand it off to number 33, Dakota Peters. You don't really know until sometimes the ball carrier is through the defensive line. Migliore in the shotgun once again, has Peters next to him on the left. Keeps it himself, rolls out to the left across the 35, gets to about the 40, and he falls forward. Short of the first down. He'll be short by about 2 yards, but another pretty big pickup for Migliore for the Raiders as the drive continues, the 5th play coming up.
Tune in every week for YCN Sports Talk, focusing on our region's college and professional sports with the Salt Hill Pub NFL Picks of the Week and YCN Sports Wrap of high school varsity sports. Seen on Sunday at 2 and 2:30 p.m. Check your local listings for other air times.
3rd down and 2, and the give goes to Dakota Peters, the junior. He plunges through for about 3 yards, and it's another first down for Rutland. So the 7th play of the drive coming up. They've had the ball for about 1 minute and 43 seconds. The clock continues to wind, and Rutland with a good sustaining offensive drive. Mike Norman is their head coach. Norman in his 23rd year, 8 total championships for Rutland. Over on the Essex side, it's Drew Gordon in his first year. Handoff once again. Peters plows through close to another first down as he gets across midfield into Essex territory. And they'll move the chains once again. It is another, no, they won't move the chains. About a yard short, nope, now they do. So first down, another one for the Raiders as they're ready to go. This will be the 8th play of the drive coming up. Started at their own 20. Migliore in the shotgun, fumbled snap, and he falls on top of it. A lucky break for the Raiders. Right there for Essex, that was Brendan McCormick to topple Migliore. So a break for the Raiders. But now it sets up what looks to be about a 2nd down and 15.
Yeah, obviously you lose yards there, but nice job by Migliore just jumping on that ball, trying to avoid the turnover. That's all you can hope for on a play like that.
9th play of the drive coming up for the Raiders. Man in motion, that's Lorman. Migliore keeps it himself, goes around the left-hand side, back across midfield once again, and gets back to almost the original line of scrimmage, to about the Essex 47-yard line, 48-yard line. And it'll bring up 3rd and call it a long 11 right now. 9 minutes to go, opening quarter. No score between Essex and Rutland here at Alumni Field in Rutland, Vermont on YCN's Game of the Week. This is the opening drive for the Raiders. Essex hasn't seen the ball yet. Migliore back to pass, fires over the middle, has a man wide open. Can he catch him? Incomplete. Dropped at the last moment by Lucas Hubbard, the junior. He was in stride and just couldn't hold on to the ball. Good defense right there by Essex.
Yeah, I believe that was number 4, Grady Corkum there on playing defense. Nice job by him getting a hand in and defending that ball and knocking it loose.
So after 10 plays, Rutland started at their own 20. They're at the Essex 48-yard line, and they will be forced to punt. 2 receivers back deep for Essex. That's Corkum and Carney. As Migliore gets the punt away, end over end. It takes a hop, picked up at the 24-yard line and wrapped up and taken down. Great play right there by Brendan Crossman as he's just wrapped up Corkum rather, and that's where Essex will start. 8:38 remaining in the first quarter. No score between Essex and Rutland. And the Hornets will start their opening drive at their own 20-yard line. We will take a timeout and be back after this. 8:38 to go, first quarter. No score between Essex and Rutland. You're watching YCN's Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Harris Family Furniture in Plymouth, Laconia, and Chichester.
So here comes Essex. They will run a spread offense as well. Their quarterback is Cam Quinn, a senior. Takes the snap. And the handoff right up the middle for about 5 yards as they unpile. And coming from the bottom of the pile is the running back Jordan Hines. He's also the punter. He's a senior, number 7 for the Hornets, going left to right across your computer screen and TV screen tonight. 8:15 and counting to play here in the first quarter. No score between Essex and Rutland. Hornets with their opening drive. Again, in the shotgun is Quinn. Hands off, and Hines tries to take it up the middle. Gains about a yard or 2. And is brought down, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 5 for Essex at their own 25-yard line.
Today's game is being brought to you in part by Mascoma Savings Bank, mutually owned with no shareholders to please. If you want your local event, parade, or concert televised, contact us at info@ycnnow.com.
3rd and 5 as the Hornets break the huddle from their own 25-yard line. Clock ticking, 7:32 remaining here in the first quarter. Rutland stalled on their first drive. This is the first drive for the Hornets. Man in motion. Quinn takes the snap, handoff once again, trying the right-hand side is Hines. Gets stacked up, maybe falls forward for a yard or so, but that'll bring up 4th down and 4, and Essex will be forced to punt. So 3 and out for the Hornets on their opening possession. And they will punt it away. Back deep, McGlory, number 15 for Rutland, standing at his own 40-yard line.
A nice job by the Raiders defense there, stopping the Essex run. Not letting them gain very many yards at all. Only gained about 6 on this drive.
Mir Shedyak came in late off the sideline. Back deep to punt is Hines, standing at his own 13 for Essex. Gets it away, a wobbly kick. McGlory comes up, fields it at his own 45, gets hit right away by Tyler Millett, but does fall forward. And McGlory a little bit slow getting up at his own 45-yard line. He's holding his left knee. 6:32 remaining in the first quarter. No score between Essex and Rutland here at Rutland High School. And the senior, Jared McGlory, is down after feeling that punt. Might have gone down awkwardly. And he's at his own 45-yard line. We'll check his status in a moment. We'll take a timeout. 6:32 to go in the first. Essex nothing, Rutland nothing. It'll be Raiders football when we come back. You're watching YCN's Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist.
Still checking on the status of Rutland's punt returner and also their quarterback, Jared McGlory, the senior, wearing number 15. The training staff of the Raiders is out on the field, and it's a good sign as McGlory is being helped to his feet. And putting pressure on it. It looked like his left leg, his left knee, maybe got twisted the wrong way as he got smacked.
Yeah.
And he'll have to come out for at least this play. And now it'll be interesting to see, Andrew, who's going to be the quarterback for Rutland right now. 6:32 remaining here in the first quarter in Rutland. No score between Essex and Rutland. And the officials signal it's time to play. So the second drive of this ball game for Rutland will start at their own 45-yard line. Not too bad. After they forced Essex on a 3 and out on their first possession. And the quarterback is Ryan Moore, a junior, wearing number 11. Handoff goes straight up the middle. And again, that's Dakota Peters, who picks up about 2 yards. Going to bring up 2nd and 8 for Rutland. Ball on the left hash mark at their own 47.
The YCN scoreboard sponsors LaValle Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion. Thank them for their longtime support of YCN sports.
Moore goes back to pass, fires over the middle, intended for Coughlin. Goes off his hands, almost picked off by Jordan Hines, but it falls incomplete, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 8. So Rutland, not holding anything back right now with their starting quarterback on the sideline, Andrew. Moore in his second snap, coming in as the backup, fires it over the middle. Almost had his receiver in stride.
Right, and yeah, maybe they trust Moore's arm more than we think, and clearly just going through a passing play immediately with the starter out. It's a good call.
Moore, handoff to Peters, tries the right-hand side, gets across midfield, fighting for yardage, gets across the 45. That might be enough to move the chains as Peters strung it out to the far side of the field for the Raiders. Gets bumped out of bounds, but it will be enough for a first down, so the drive continues for Rutland. 5:55 to go in a scoreless first quarter, but Peters for the Raiders picks up the first down.
Yeah, nice job there by Peters, rolling to the right sideline and fighting for that extra yardage. It's a good strong back there, and it's a good run.
Moore, the quarterback for Rutland, in the shotgun. He's got Peters next to him on the left. Takes the snap, handoff again to Peters. Moore keeps it himself and gets wrestled down at about the 36-yard line, close to a first down. I think he'll be short, but that's what we talked about in the pregame, the deception of who's got the ball. You're on that quasi option. Is it going to be the quarterback that's going to try to poke through the line, or is it going to be the running back? Sometimes they're side by side, and the handoff doesn't come until the last split second. So we'll call it 2nd and 2 for the Raiders. Moore back to pass, fakes the handoff, fires downfield, just out of the reach of his receiver along the far side. That's Dawson Cole. He dove for it, couldn't come up with it. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 2 now for the Raiders. Clock stops, 5:17 remaining in the first quarter. No score between Essex and Rutland. Take a look at the McGlory down on the sideline. And he is standing. He was on the trainer's table for a while. And it looked like they were looking at that left knee, and he's still trying to walk it off right now. Officials signal timeout. And they are going to move the ball back about a yard, and that'll be the official line of scrimmage. So 3rd down and 2 for Rutland at the Essex 37-yard line. Moore in the shotgun. He's the backup quarterback. Handoff. Peters has the first down and more. He's at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Raiders. Dakota Peters. He goes 37 yards, and Rutland is on the scoreboard. 5:10 remaining in the first quarter, and the Raiders jump out to a 6-0 lead over Essex.
Nice job by the Rutland offensive line there, creating a hole for Peters to run through, and Peters just able to beat a couple defenders, ran for the score. It's a big play for Rutland, especially with their starting quarterback going down.
On the ground, they get the touchdown. 6 plays. And they started just around midfield. Peters with a 37-yard touchdown run. And now they will try for the extra point. Noah Crossman, the junior, is the kicker. Snap placed down, kick is up. It is through the uprights, and it is good. Good hold there by the backup quarterback, Ryan Moore. So Rutland strikes first here on their final home game of the 2017 season. 5:10 remaining in the first quarter. Peters goes in for the touchdown. It's a 7-0 lead for the Raiders over Essex. We'll take a break, be back with a kickoff after this. You are watching YCN's Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by La Valley Building Supply and Middleton Building Supply.
Back here at YCN's Game of the Week from Alumni Field here in Rutland, Vermont. Raiders with a 7-0 lead over Essex, 5:10 remaining in the first quarter. Rutland about to kick off. Peters with a 37-yard touchdown scamper. 6 plays, 53 yards, and 3 minutes and 10 seconds off the clock. After Rutland sustained a drive, about 10 plays, took a good chunk of time off that first quarter clock, but came up empty. Two receivers back deep to receive for the Essex Hornets. Their first possession, they went 3 and out. The kickoff by Crossman.
Nice kick.
Has the wind underneath it. It is taken at the 5-yard line by Grady Corkum. Gets out to about the 20, 25, and is brought down at the 28-yard line. And the second possession of the ball game for Essex will start right there. 5:04 to go, first quarter here in Rutland. Raiders up 7-0 on top of the Hornets. And Essex hoping to have a little bit better luck than their opening drive, which went 3 and out. And actually, they're going to mark the ball at the 30-yard line to start. Maybe easier for the chain gang.
Yeah, right. Hey, local sports fans, 94.5 ESPN's Franklin and House Sports Talk Show can be seen on YCN's WYCX Outside Television at 5 p.m. every weekday. Tune in daily and get up to date on what's happening in sports.
So 1st and 10 for Essex at their own 30. Give goes across the line of scrimmage to Millette. He gets knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line. First penalty marker of the game on the play. And we'll check the flag. 4:57 to play in the first quarter. Rutland on top, 7-0. But let's check the penalty marker. See who this is called on. Our officials tonight, we'll give you their names. Face mask against Rutland, so that'll be an automatic first down as the chains will move. Referee tonight is Jim Corbo. The umpire is Roger Gillies. Linesman is Chad Illingworth. Line judge is George Lucia, and the back judge tonight is Mike Spackman. So after the 15-yard penalty, that gives Essex an automatic first down, and they are right at midfield. Quinn takes the snap. Delayed handoff this time, and Rutland read it all the way as Carney goes nowhere. In fact, gets stopped behind the line of scrimmage, and a loss of about 2 yards. So that didn't work, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 12 for Essex. 4:40 to play here in the first quarter in Rutland. Raiders with a 7-0 lead over the Essex Hornets. Essex traveling left to right across your computer screen and TV screen tonight. McGlory is back on the sidelines, still trying to walk it off, standing at the 30-yard line. And I'm not sure, Andrew. We'll check and see if he has his shoulder pads off. Here's Quinn, meanwhile, rolling out to his right, fires the pass downfield, goes through the hands of Chris Labonte, the junior, and falls incomplete. Tough pass. Wynn might have gotten underneath it, but Labonte, if he would have caught that, Andrew, had plenty of room to work with along the near sidelines.
Yeah, he did, and Quinn, the quarterback, maybe just off target. Made the receiver kind of stretch out to try to make that play, but yeah, if he made that catch, he would have had some daylight. Would have gotten more than the first down, but just couldn't hang on to it.
So 3rd down and 12 for Essex. Clock stops, 4:11 to play, first quarter. Rutland on top, 7-0. Quinn in the shotgun once again. Man in motion, this time is Millette. Quinn back to pass, sets up the screen along the far side, but Rutland read that right away, and Jack Carney gets tackled after he picks up about 2 yards, maybe gets back to the original line of scrimmage, right at midfield, but Essex forced to punt. So they moved it a bit with the help of the face mask penalty a few plays ago, but really nothing on offense so far for the Hornets in their first 2 drives, and again, they'll be forced to punt.
Yeah, and the Raiders playing a pretty good defense, and their defensive line really stopping the run. And, you know, if Labonte was able to make that catch, definitely would have helped them to move this ball down the field, but looks like they're going to have to punt. Nice job by the Raiders D.
Jordan Hines back to punt. Penalty flags on the play, and they'll call illegal procedure, a false start actually, against Essex. So this will back them up just a bit. Lucas Hubbard was back deep to return for Rutland. Again, the wind blowing about 15 miles per hour from the Rutland bench across the field towards the Essex bench. Temperature in the upper 50s right now. No threat of rain, but the wind could be a factor. So here's Hines again, takes the snap, low snap, almost blocked, gets off a wobbly kick towards the near sideline, takes a bounce at the 33 and bounces back towards Essex territory. It's finally down there by the Hornets. That's Seamus Chisholm, and that's where Rutland will start. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Ball at their own 37-yard line as they move right to left across your computer and TV screens. 3:22 to go in the first quarter, 7-0. Raiders on top, and I think we can confirm it right now that McGlory out for the game, at least as of now. Number 15, the starting quarterback for Rutland, went down after he tried to field a punt. He does not have his shoulder pads or helmet on the sideline. A couple of players came over and gave him big hugs in the final home game for Rutland this season. So instead, here's Ryan Moore, the junior, trying to step up, hands off to Peters, breaks a tackle, and he gets clobbered down as he crosses his own 45-yard line out to about the 46. A nice run as he picks up 6 yards, and it'll bring up 2nd down. We'll call it a short 5 yards for Rutland as the clock ticks down to 3 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Raiders up 7-0. 2 receivers to the far side of the field for Rutland. That's Hubbard, number 20, Jacob Lorman, number 24 at the top of your screen. Moore takes the snap. Will keep it himself, fights forward for about a yard or two, and gets out to about the 48-yard line. Still be short of the first down by about 2 yards. So 3rd down and 2 for the Raiders.
Stay tuned at the end of our telecast for the H.R. Clough Kearsarge Heating Turning Up the Heat Player of the Game. We'll choose the team member that had the greatest impact.
2 receivers to the near side of the field, 1 up top. Moore in the shotgun. Takes the snap, hands off to Peters. He's got the first down and more as he plunges into Hornets territory. And that will move the chains. It's another pickup of about 4 yards for Rutland as they keep churning, and they get it all the way down to the 48-yard line of Essex. 2:15 to play, first quarter, 7-0. Raiders on top. They've had a couple of these long drives. Moore in the shotgun once again. Hand off to Peters. Goes through the center and gets over the 45 down to the 44-yard line into Essex territory once again. Picks up about 4 to bring up 2nd down and 6. Semi-hurry-up offense for the Raiders. They're ready to go as soon as the ball is set at the line of scrimmage. Moore with the snap. Hand off to Peters, tries the right side, he's got a hole at the 30, at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Dakota Peters, his second of the evening. And with 1:36 to go in the first quarter, Rutland now jumps out to a 13-0 lead over Essex. Another big hole, Andrew, and Peters saw it, took it in stride, and just raced away from the competition and ends up with another touchdown. And Rutland right now up 13-0.
Yeah, nice job by Peters there with that explosive speed, just sprinting through the hole. And once again, you have to credit his offensive line. They're doing a nice job of getting blocks up front. And Peters, that was looked very similar to his touchdown earlier in the game. Nice job by him. He's clearly a big running back in this division.
So on to attempt the extra point. This is Noah Crossman. Snap placed down, kick is up, and it is good. So the two teams head back upfield. Peters with his second touchdown of the evening. This one from 47 yards out. And with 1:36 remaining here in the first quarter, Rutland on top of Essex 14-0. We'll take a break and be back with the kickoff. You're watching YCN's Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Lake Sunapee Visiting Nurse Association and Hospice.
Welcome back to Rutland Alumni Field. Beautiful Vermont, perfect time of year. Dakota Peters unofficially, well, we know officially he scored 2 touchdowns tonight. Unofficially, he's up to around 80 yards of rushing. And there's still 1:36 to go in the first quarter. Rutland on top of Essex 14-0. As Essex will receive the ball and hope to get something going on the offensive end. As Crossman puts the boot into it. Taken at the 5-yard line. And with it for Essex, this is Corkum. Gets across the 20, 25, out across the 30-yard line. And is brought down there, and that's where the Hornets will set up shop on their third drive of the evening. First two have been unsuccessful. The only time they moved the ball down the field was courtesy of a 15-yard face mask penalty against Rutland. So 1st and 10 for Essex. They trail 14-0 here in Rutland. 90 seconds to play in the first quarter, and the ball is spotted at the Essex 32-yard line.
Today's telecast is being brought to you in part by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team and so much more. And in Rutland by Sensible Shoe, name brands for less. All YCN games are now on Facebook Live at YCN News.
Cam Quinn in the shotgun snap. Takes it, looks to the right-hand side, fires downfield, and almost intercepted. Great play defensively by Willie Goulet, the junior, as the pass was intended for Chris Labonte of Essex, but again, a little bit overthrown. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Hornets at their own 32-yard line.
Yeah, nice job there by Goulet, defending the ball and not making too much contact with the receiver. It's tough to do. A lot of refs like to draw that flag when there's any contact at all, but he was turned around and had his eyes on the ball. Nice play.
Quinn, shotgun snap once again. Man in motion, that's Hines. Hand off to Hines, coming down the line, tries to turn the corner on the far side of the field. Does so for maybe a yard. And it will bring up 3rd down and 8.5 for Essex. Still moving left to right across your computer screen and TV screen tonight. 65 seconds to go in the first quarter. Rutland has dominated so far. They're up 14-0 on a pair of Dakota Peters touchdown runs. They'll call it 3rd and 9 for Essex. Ball on the left hash mark at their own 33. 2 receivers out towards our side of the field. That's Corkum and also Hines. 4 and 7 respectively. Quinn rolls out to the right, gets pressured, fires it off his back foot, incomplete, as he overthrew Corkum and took a hit and a half as he was wrestled down to the turf. But that will bring up 4th down for the Hornets, and again, Essex will have to punt.
Yeah, nice job by Rutland's defense, and that was Peters there on the tackle. A nice job by him timing that tackle as well. The ball had just gotten there, and that's when he made contact. And really, Essex not being able to move the ball at all. Really just a flag that helped them move forward a little bit that last drive, but that's been about it.
Yeah, the only time that Essex has a 1st down tonight is after the penalty flag 15-yard face mask against Rutland. So again, the Hornets forced to punt. Getting it away is Hines. Back to receive it is Hubbard. Lets it bounce, and it will take an Essex roll across the 20-yard line and down to about the 17.5. So that's where Rutland will start their drive. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. They lead Essex 14-0, 27.1 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. We'll take a break and be back to Rutland in just a few moments. You're watching YCN's Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by M.J. Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948.
Back here at Alumni Field in Rutland, Vermont. With Andrew Zerhine, I'm Dave Collins. 27.1 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Rutland up 14-0 as the handoff goes to Peters. Gains maybe a foot or two before he's brought down. Again, the starting quarterback, Jared McGlory, who's also the punt returner, was taken off the field. Looked like what was a knee injury, and that was after the first series on defense. He engineered the first scoring opportunity, but was taken off the field and does not have his shoulder pads on, so it looks like his night is done. And we have reached the end of the first quarter here in Rutland, Vermont. It's the Raiders 14, the Essex Hornets nothing. Back with second quarter coverage right after these words. You're watching YCN's Game of the Week.